Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's almost 12:30 over here in Nigeria. PM. Today we are going to be making Tom Brown. Like not just Tom Brown, like we are going to be making a nutritious Tom Brown. Guys, I've been making this recipe, I've been using this recipe. Trust me, you will love it. Tom Brown is a collection of cereals combined together to make a delicious meal, which is called Tom Brown. Yeah, we have different kinds of Tom Browns depending on the ingredients used in the Tom Brown. Today, guys, I'm going to be making 12 cereals Tom Brown. Like there are many types, but today I'm going to be combining 12 ingredients to give us a nice, nutritious, and delicious Tom Brown. So while we go on this video, I'm going to be giving you some of the tips you need to know while making your Tom Brown. Especially if you want to start up a Tom Brown business, like you want to start making Tom Brown as a side hustle, or you want to make it your main business. I wish you success. So if you want to make this Tom Brown for commercial purposes, I think this recipe is going to be the best for you. Yeah, one thing that differentiates our recipes from the others is the number of ingredients combined in that recipe. There are so many Tom Browns out there, but the difference is how you prepare this Tom Brown. Today, guys, I'm going to be introducing how I prepare my delicious and nutritious Tom Brown for my family. So, that one of the characteristics of Tom Brown is all the ingredients used in making Tom Brown are fried or roasted. All the ingredients are roasted or fried. You don't use it raw. To this I have my crayfish. Crayfish give it a wonderful taste. Some use like mangala fish, but most times, especially when you want to make a Tom Brown that will last for so long, you may not necessarily need to add mangala fish or tilapia fish. I mean the dry fish to your Tom Brown because of the odor. So I will be adding crayfish as part of, let me say, sweetener. Like it's going to increase or promote the taste of this Tom Brown. You know that taste you get when you add crayfish to your meal or when you add crayfish to your soybean powder. So to this I'll be using crayfish. So I'm going to pick this crayfish very well. Yes, crayfish normally or usually have lots of dirt in it. I will be cleaning it very well. Then after that, you feel comfortable using your crayfish without washing it. Fine and good. All you need to do is just to fry this crayfish. Fry it very well. It's going to be crispy after frying. That will give it an easy road to blending. Like it will make the blending process to be very, very easy. So another ingredient I have here is my kidney beans. Yes, most people don't use kidney beans because of its price. Over here, like in Lagos State, it's very expensive. I will start by introducing the core ingredients for this recipe. When I say core ingredients, I mean the principal ingredient for this recipe, and that is our corn. In today's recipe, I choose to use yellow corn because even while making pap, I have come to realize that yellow corn has better taste. than white corn. So to this, I will be using yellow corn. I'm going to pick the dates very well. If I have enough sun, I will be washing it for like 10 seconds just because of the germicide used in protecting or storing this corn. Not like soaking it inside the water. No, I'm just going to give it a quick wash, maybe with hot water, so that those chemicals can be washed away to an extent. Then after that, I'm going to dry it under the sun. Then before we go to the next step. Another ingredient I have here is my millets. Millets. Millet is one of the core ingredients again in making your Tom Brown. Yes, millet belongs to the maize family, and millet used to have a very wonderful taste. So I'm going to be adding millet to this Tom Brown. So the same way I washed my corn is the same way I'm also going to be washing my millet and spreading it under the sun. Another ingredient I have here is my dawa, that is sorghum. Please help me with the pronunciation. Mata bienile. Dawa. Look at it. I don't know, I can't remember the real name. I will insert the picture. Look at it. It comes in white and red. So I prefer to use the red one. It's it's more nutritious than the white. So I will be washing this also. Then another important ingredient I have here is my rice. I'm using local rice. This is Big Boom. It's local rice, but it's very nice, very fine, very beautiful. So I'm using local rice. I'm also going to, I'm not going to be washing the rice because it's new rice, like it's not an old rice. So what I would do is to just fry this rice. I'm going to fry this rice, though I'm going to take us through the process. Remember, I will be using maize. Our maize here, I have 1.5 cup of yellow maize. This is the Rika cup. For those of us living in Lagos, I will drop the measurements in the comment section. Okay. So another ingredient I have here is kidney beans. I don't know if I've talked about this. Kidney beans is very sweet, very, very sweet. Is one of the main ingredients in making salad. No, it is used to garnish a salad and fried rice and sometimes vegetables. I use kidney beans a lot. That is why I always have it at home. I use it a lot. I use quantity of it because I love it. It's very sweet. You can also eat it like normal beans. So I'll be using kidney beans. This is 1/2 cup. I'm also going to be frying it. I will wash it to wash away the dirt, then drain it. Another thing I have here is this is patasco beans. We call it black eye beans. Nigerians call it patasco, black eye. You can use the other one. What is it called again? This is patasco. You can use I don't know what is it called, but this one is patasco. Patasco beans, black eye beans. I'm also going to pick up the stones. Please, in all these grains we are going to use, you have to pick the stones very well. Pick off all the stones and all the debts. Remember, we are going to be blending this and you are going to be eating it. So you have to make sure you pick it properly. Like all this, pick everything out, both the stones, pick everything. Let it be made in a very clean, hygienic environment. Another ingredient I have here is my plantain. This is unripe plantain. You know that feeling you get, like that taste you get when you add unripe plantain to your soya bean powder. So I'm going to be adding unripe plantain. The thing is that I have dried it already. I did this myself and I even roasted it in my oven. So it's good to go. So another thing I have here is peanuts, granules. Groundnut is also one of the most important ingredients you add to your Tom Brown. But one thing is this, whenever you are adding groundnut to your Tom Brown, you don't add much quantity. If you are watching me right now, you have been making soya bean powder or you have watched my video on how I make soya bean powder, you will bear with me that I said in that video you don't add too much of groundnut when you are making your soya bean. Reason is because groundnuts contains lots of oil. Okay, after frying it, the oil tends to like generate more. Then when you are blending it, imagine that feeling when you are making peanut butter. Like when you fry groundnut and you are blending it, before you blend it up to 2, 3 times, everything will dissolve. It becomes a kind of liquid form. You don't want that. So that is why it is advisable that when you are making your Tom Brown, you add little quantity of groundnut. So for this quantity of ingredients today, I'm adding just 1 cup of groundnut. This is the popular measuring cup. So you can choose to add maybe 1/4 of the Derica cup, 1/4 of this, 1/4 of the quantity of the corn you are using. Okay. Then another thing I have here is Quaker oats. Quaker oats, yes, we are going to be adding Quaker oats in the same way you fry or you'll be frying other ingredients is the same way you are going to be frying your Quaker oats. Yes, you are going to fry it very well. You can either fry it or you roast it in your oven. Another thing I want to let us know is that as for apart from frying all these grains, you can also roast them in your oven. Personally, I'm going to be roasting this in my oven because it's going to be easier for me than to start frying everything one by one. At least I can combine the both beans in the tray, put one, though I'm going to take us along. So these are the ingredients. Another ingredients I'm going to be adding is whole wheat. Wheat. Yes, you heard me. The wheat you use for swallow, I'm going to be adding it too. So you are going to pick properly. I don't have the picture here because I don't have it handy. I'm going to be getting it now. You pick properly. Okay, guys. Another ingredient you are going to be using is a soya bean. This is soya bean seed. This is it. I don't know if it's clear. Light, I don't know. This is soya bean. So we are going to be using this soya bean. But it's very important to note that if you are using your soya bean in your Tom Brown, please make sure you fry your soya bean very, very well. Make sure to fry it very, very well. Soya bean is very, very acidic. It is very, very acidic. So when you are making your soya bean, you make sure that the soya bean seed is fried properly. Then another tips I want to let us know is that when you are using your soya bean in your Tom Brown, you don't add too much of it. Soya bean has a very strong taste. So when you are adding it to your Tom Brown, I think you should measure your soya bean with the measurement should be with other ingredients. So I'm going to be using half cup. Half cup. I'll be using half cup. Yes. And one thing again I want us to know is that when you are making your Tom Brown, it's important that after roasting your soya bean or frying your soya bean, I'm going to be frying soya bean. I'm not going to be Okay, I'm going to be roasting mine. I'm not going to be frying it. I've come to realize that roasting soya bean is very, very okay. It's perfect, if I must say, because nothing is going to be burnt. Everything is going to be fried, or everything is going to be roasted evenly. Unlike when you are frying your soya bean now, you can try it and see. When you are frying your soya bean, sometimes when it gets hot, it start to break. And once it starts to break, all these ones now, whatever breaks into two will eventually turn to ashes. It will be black. It will be black. And you don't want to use such soya bean because it will spoil the taste of your soya bean, and the color also. It will make it to be too dark. So when I used to roast so I remember when I used to fry my soya bean, I used to pick off all the bones ones, the black ones. I used to pick everything off one after the other, and it stresses me a lot. But since I start using my oven to bake my soya bean, it has made the job very, very easy because nothing is going to be burnt. So just bring your soya bean, pick off the stones very, very well, and roast. Okay? Then after roasting it, allow it to cool down and tie it separately. You tie it separately. You don't mix it with the other grains. You tie it separately. When you get to the heavy good duty grinder, you tie it separately so that when you get to the heavy duty grinder, you are going to break this first and blow off the chaff before you add it to the other grains, because soya bean chaff is very strong. So if you mix everything together without removing the chaff, it will make your Tombrown not to be smooth. It will not be smooth even after you must have finished shifting it with your sieve. It will still not be smooth, or it is going to cause lots of waste. It's going to waste your soya bean or your Tombrown. So when making your Tombrown, if you don't have soya bean seed, you have the already made soya bean powder, you can make use of it. You can use this. You can actually use this. All you need to do is just to get this ready. Once your other grains are ready, just show it to the heavy duty grinder that you'll be adding powdered soya bean. Oh. They will direct you on what to do, or they will tell you when to add it to the other ingredients or to the other grains. Okay, so if you want to add the already made soya bean, this size is okay. The first time I made Storm Brown, I added so many soya bean, and the Tom Brown was tasting soya bean, soya bean, soya bean. It was so much that I even heated it. So that is why it's good to learn all these things properly so you don't make mistakes. So you get the actual and accurate measurement for all the ingredients. Another thing here is our wheat. Wheat, wheat seed. This is it. So I'm going to be roasting this too. It's going to be easier for me. So I'm going to roast this and allow it to be properly baked, such that when you have a bite of it, look at the seed now, it's even very soft. If you open it, it's pure white inside. It's pure white. But once it's fully baked, the color is going to change a bit. Not much though. I'm going to be baking this wheat for at least 20 minutes. The soya bean, when your soya bean is ready, you perceive the flavor. It will start to like have cracks in the body, then you can easily peel it. I will take us through the process. So your wheat, I'm adding half cup of wheat. So I'm going to bake this, or you fry it. If you don't have oven, you can fry it just the same way you fry the other ingredients. So that is for wheat. Look at it. This light is not good at all. So guys, remember you are also going to pick your wheat very well. Make sure you pick off the stones. Make sure you pick off. So guys, remember to pick your wheat very well. Make sure you pick off all the stones, all the dirt. Pick everything very, very well. Then roast it properly. Make sure it is well roasted. You can also fry it if you don't have an oven. Just make sure it is well fried. When you fry your wheat, it will start to break. I think I will insert the picture. When you fry your wheat, it will start to break. At a time, it will start to pop up like popcorn. Like popcorn. That is when you know that your wheat is ready. Of course, you won't allow everything to start popping. So once it start popping, just remove from heat. Okay? Then you wash it same way, just for 10 seconds with warm water, just to take out whatever chemicals that is being used to store it to prevent paste. So in the same way, you dry it under the sun. So guys, these are the ingredients we are going to be using for our Tombrown. So let me show you again. Remember, the first on our list is Plantain. On our list, we have our kidney beans, we have our crayfish, we have our rice, we have our black eye beans. Over there is our sorghum, then unripe plantain. There is our corn, there is our millet. Remember, we have whole wheat, oatmeal, groundnuts, and unripe plantain. So guys, these are the ingredients we are going to be using for our Tombrown. I'm going to be taking you to the part 2 of this video, which will be the washing process. I'm not going to be taking us through all the process. Maybe I will just pick one of the grains and wash. Then with that, you can do others. Then after that, I'm going to take us along to how I'm going to be baking it and how I'm going to be frying some of the ingredients. Stay tuned, guys. Thank you. Hey guys, look at what we have here. I'm going to be baking these ones. You can see this one is the sorghum and the rice. Okay, let's get to the other side. Over here, you can see the yellow maize. You can see the white beans, that is the black eye beans, and the kidney beans. Let me zoom it a bit. This is black eye beans and the kidney beans. Then lastly, over there, I have the millet and the granules, the peanuts. Look at it. So I have these little ones over here. I'm going to be using two methods. As you all know, or as you already know, the ones inside the tray are the ones I'm going to be baking in my oven. It will be faster. Yeah, it's going to give us a faster result. It's not going to take much of our time. But these little ones I have here, just for the sake of those that don't know or don't understand what it takes or what it means to fry these grains or cereals, like this one now is the millet. I just left little quantities. I'm going to be frying these ones with my frying pan. You can use either frying pan or your pot. I just left little quantity for clarity's sake, like this one, the rice, and the sugar. I think the millets, the wheat. I'm also going to be frying the wheat and the soya bean seed. No, the soya beans I must be baking it. I will definitely be baking it. After this, I will clear the tray and go for that. So this is it. Now what will happen is I'm going to set my oven at 250 degrees Celsius, allowed to heat up for 10 minutes before I finally transfer my tray, my grains inside the oven. So while this will be going on, I may not be taking us through the process because I don't like to use my phone inside the kitchen. But meanwhile, let me just give us little illustration of what it's going to look like. Like this is our rice. So I'm going to put this inside the oven. Then I will time it. First 15 minutes, you check. When you check, you use your hand and mix it around, like to make sure that all the grains are heating up. You understand? The same way you do everything. Like you turn now, like the way you bake your things. Just use your hand and turn it, then put back into the oven. That is for the first 15 minutes. I'll be baking this for 30 minutes. Let's see how the results will come out, or let's see how it will be. So, first 30 minutes, then we'll look at the results and know if it is okay or if we continue. So I will definitely carry us along. Just stay back. Let's go there. So okay guys, it's the first 15 minutes already. So what I have to do is just to turn it like I said earlier, just like this. The same way you touch your beans, like to make sure it's cooking evenly. These are the other ones. So I'm the same way I'm going to touch everything and put again. See, the corn is also ready. Look at the color. See the color. So I can even look at the color. Very, very beautiful. Very nice. Like if I'm super hungry now, I can even eat it. I can eat it though it's very strong. So I'm going to allow it to cool down. Then I'll pack everything together. Okay, guys. This is ready. It's ready. So let's see. Remember, this is the baking method. Look at the peanut. It was baked. Look at the color. Just like normal granuts. Like this is. You see the color. So what I'll do now is I'm going to peel it off and tie it into a tight, just to tie it in nylon to avoid breeze. It's crunchy. I hope I'm not going to finish this groundnut. Then this one too is ready. Then this, I bake for 30 minutes. Look at the rice. You can see the color. Look at the color now. Look at it. It's ready. So the last but not the least is the beans. So now let me show you how to know when your beans is ready. You can see some of the ones that are like something like pure white. So if I'm to fry it now in my frying pan, that is when you notice, look at that pure white, all those pure white. So for the beans, this is our beans. Let me show you the color. So for you to know if your beans is ready, you will break it. You will use your teeth and break it. Look at the beans. See the color. God, why is this thing not picking? Yes, look at it. See the color. Like the color of cashew nut. You know that ordinarily beans used to be white. Look at the color. That is to show you that your beans is ready. That indicates that the beans is ready. Cut another one and see. Omo, this one is strong. Oh. So for the kidney beans, this is also the color after baking or after roasting. This is how it's going to be. Ordinarily, it used to be pure white, but after baking it, the color will be like this. So these ones are ready. What I'm going to do now is to do the frying method. For those that doesn't have a oven to bake, they can always adopt the frying method. So that is what we are going to do right now. Stay tuned. So before I forget, I've told you already that this granite, I'm going to peel it off. I'm going to remove the chaff. Look at it. Okay, guys, our wheat is ready. You can see the color. I baked it together with that peanut you are seeing over there. So maybe if you want to, like you have an oven, you want to bake your wheat, you can just add some peanuts. Got it. So the wheat is cooked. Look at the inside. Please do. Where is the focus of this phone, my? Remember, formerly it used to be white. Now the color have changed. Look at it. Then this is a soya bean. Look at it. You can see from what I said earlier. Once it's ready, it will break. So if you peel it now, you see the color. Look at the color. It's ready. So when you are frying it too, make sure it's also like this. Look at the color. Please make sure your soya bean is properly cooked. Please don't use raw soya bean. Don't use raw soya bean. It's acidic. Please look at it. So what I'm going to do now, remember what I said earlier? You allow this to cool down. You tie it separate. You tie it separate so that you peel it off. If you can use your hand and do it, fine. You just remove the chaff, blow off this chaff. It's very strong. It used to be very strong. Okay, before you finally add it to other grains and cereals. So this is for soya bean. You are going to be adding the peanut as a sweetener. This is the peanut. Please, whenever you are buying or when you are buying, make sure you buy the dry one. Tell them you want the dry one. If it's not properly dried, it cannot be like the engine will not be able to grind it. If it's not properly dried, they will reject it at the heavy duty grinder. They will reject it. So it's better you tell the Hausa men that normally sells it, they will give you dry one. So these are very dry. So when you bring your debino, you remove the seed. These are the seed. This is one of them. This is it again. You break it and remove the seed. It will be like this. So when you take it to the heavy duty grinder, they will direct you on what to do. Debino serve as a sweetener to this Tombrown. Yeah, if you are the type that doesn't like sugar or you don't eat sugar at all, then use debino as a sweetener. Okay, just add it and blend everything together. It's very easy instead of always adding sugar whenever you want to drink your Tombrown. So just add debino as sweetener. Like I said, make sure you buy the dry one, very dry one. Like these ones now, they are very dry. So make sure you buy the dry one whenever you are buying, please. Okay, guys, you can see that Tombrown is ready. Our grains are ready. Look at it. I've mixed everything together. So before you start grinding, you have to mix everything together. Everything, everything. Look at it. Oh, God's here. So look at it. So now I'm heading to the heavy duty grinder. So I'm going to take us along. So you see how it's being done. You can see the rice, the millets, and others. So let's get started. Look at our Tombrown, guys. So this is what I got. This is it. Look at the color. Color is so beautiful. Our Tombrown is ready, guys. Please sorry for the noise. In case you are hearing some checking noise, please sorry for that. My neighbors are doing some reconstruction in their building. So this is our Tombrown. Hope you can see it very well. It's very smooth. It's very smooth. But one thing I've learned in Tombrown making is that no matter how smooth it is, you must still fit out. Like it's a must. You must sieve it out because of some of the particles. You know now the beans, let's say the millets, beans, the millet. Remember, they have shaft, like they have back. And whereas, especially the kidney beans and the millets. No, not millet. I think the sorghum, the dawa, that red one. So this is the shaft. I'm sorry I'm shooting this video at this time. This Tombrown has taken a lot of time since 2 weeks now I've been shooting these videos. It has not been easy. So this is the shaft. So I really have to do it. So let me show you. Let me bring it down a little. So this is it. Look at the shaft. Look at it. If you have birds around like chicken, you can give it to the chicken. You can give it to chickens. Or if not, you pour it away. Okay? So this is the main one now. These are Tombrown. These are Tombrown. Very smooth. Very, very smooth. Is it? Please remember that after grinding your Tombrown from the heavy duty grinder, just the same way you do your soya beans, please don't cover it. Leave it open. Like I use this bucket to grind it. Let me show you. Let me show you. This is what I use. This is the bucket I use to grind it. This is it. Please, you leave it open. Don't cover it. Because after grinding, it will be very hot. Very, very hot. Even if you have bigger bowl, you transfer it into that bigger bowl. Spread it like this so that breeze will enter. You can leave it like this like overnight for it to cool down completely before you start doing the next job, which is to sieve out the chaff. Okay, this is what I use. You can use anyone. There are so many of it in the market. Get anyone and use any one of your choice, provided is one that has very closed, what will I call it, hose. Will I say hose? Get the closed one, like very tiny one, and use it to remove the chaff. Okay, so this is what I use in grinding it. And sorry, your Tombrown, after you must have finished, like I just finished shifting out the chaff. So what I'm going to do now is to transfer it back into this bucket. Just store in a tight container. Store in an airtight container. So I'm just going to put it back here and cover. Store in an airtight container. Okay. Tombrown is very, very nutritious. Yeah. Better than pap. Very well. Tombrown is better than pap. Is more nutritious than pap because of the content. As you can see from my recipe, I use up to 10 different ingredients. Yeah, up to 10 greens. Over 10. So imagine when you eat beans. When you eat beans and after eating beans, you become full. Like, you not easily go hungry. You know, it's protein. So think about this Tombrown that has beans, it has black eye beans, kidney beans, there's unripe plantain, there's millet, there's sorghum, there's there's wheat, there's groundnut, there's soya bean, there's dates, there's like almost too many ingredients. So because of the contents, they are so very nutritious. Like will I say is a complete meal. Tombrown is a complete meal. Like when you eat Tombrown, you not easily go hungry. You are going to be full because of the contents. That is why it's very, very good for your babies. Like when you feed your babies with Tom Brown, they are going to look very, very healthy and nourishing because of the content. Same as adult. Some people think that Tom Brown is for children alone. No, Tom Brown is not for children alone. Both adults take Tom Brown. Yeah, the ingredients are not harmful to the body. They are proteins, calcium, potassium, and so on and so forth. You can browse it. Carbohydrate is there, yes. You can browse it, okay, and get more information regarding Tom Brown. So this is our Tom Brown. Another set I'm going to do now is just to make the Tom Brown, show us how to make Tom Brown in case you don't know how to make Tom Brown. Personally, when I learned how to make Tom Brown, I didn't know how to do it, how to go to YouTube and search for videos on how to make Tom Brown. And that was how I learned how to make my Tom Brown. So today, guys, I'm bringing you guys the same thing, how to make Tom Browns. I hope you learn. If you want to use it for business, you can see I'm going to write out the estimated price of this so you know how profitable it can be in case you want to venture into Tom Brown business. Okay, I'm going to leave it on the screen, the estimated price of this. You can see the quantity. You can see the quantity. This is really, really much. Like it's plenty. It's much. That is. So guys, this is for today. Let's enter the next stage. Look at the consistency. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to pour this inside the boiling water and stir. So while this is going on, stir. So while this is going on, while you stir this, I hope you can see me. So you take some of the Tom Brown again and add more spoon. I think this one will be okay. Then now you start to stir until it dissolves properly. This is super thick. This is very thick, guys. Exactly the consistency I want in my tumbler. If you want it lighter than this, you add more water, okay? So I'm going to garnish this with my milk. One thing I love about tumbler is that I added dates. Because of the addition of dates in this recipe, you don't need any sugar again. You don't need any sweetener. You can add honey if you want. You can add honey, you can add milk. It's purely optional. So guys, this is our Tom Brown. It's ready. Thank you so much for watching. If you have watched this video up to this point, please subscribe to your girl. Wow, this is super delicious. Super yummy. Hmm. This is so yummy. Okay, I want to make the part two of this. Like, I'm using 1 cup of water. The water is boiling already, as you can see over here. It's boiling. So The next thing I'm going to do now is to dissolve the Tombrown. So what I'll do is just to take 1 spoon. These are Tombrown. Take a spoon of Tombrown, add some water, just the same way you dissolve your pap. You know, when you are making your pap, the same way you dissolve your pap, your custard powder. So I'm going to dissolve this very well. Meanwhile, let me put on the heat. Dissolve it and make sure it's lump free. Water is boiling and I have dissolved the Tombrown. I have 1.5 spoon here. So look at the consistency. So watch me. I'm going to pour this inside the boiling water. You know, when we are making Tombrown, I don't know if you'll be having this question in your mind. Why is it that the Tombrown, the grains and cereals are being fried or baked? You'll be asking yourself that question. Okay, the thing is, apart from bringing out the flavor, the nice flavor in Tombrown, I think it also helps to cook the Tombrown faster. Imagine just blending raw beans, raw corn, and all sorts, and how the taste will look like after cooking it. So this is what I'm trying to do now. So just to stir a little while, not too long. You can see it has thickened up a bit. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to add the powdered Tombrown. So, and as you do this, you stir it immediately to dissolve the lumps. You can put up the heat. Like it's shooting gum. Gum. I don't want the thing to splash on my body. So the consistency is almost okay. So what I'll do now is to give it a quick mix. Like stir very well. Very, very well. Remember, in this Tombrown, I have unripe plantain. And you know unripe plantain is iron. So please, whenever you are feeding your baby this Tombrown, especially when you add unripe plantain, please make sure you also feed them with water, okay? Because you know they are children, they can't talk, they can't speak. So probably when they are tasty, you may not be able to know what they do. They just cry and cry and cry. I took this Tombrown yesterday. In fact, I was full the whole day. Like I did not eat anything else till around late night, around 9 p.m. So the reason I'm still doing this right now is to make sure that the Tombrown is lump free. Like it's lump free, to make sure that all the lumps are properly dissolved. Then if you feel that it's too thick, like you want it lighter like this, in case you like it lighter than this, you can add little cold water, okay? So to this I'll just add just little water. I don't want it to be too light. You can see from the first video that one is thick. I like it thick. because I'm an adult. I like it thick. Okay? Don't like it too what too light. So it's okay now. It has dissolved properly. Very, very well. So our Tombrown is ready, as you can see. It's ready. Let me show you. Look at it. Tombrown is ready. It's ready. Remember, this Tombrown is very, very nutritious. Very, very nutritious. Please, in case you are using wheat, there will be no need to add oatmeal. Please, if you add oatmeal, no need to add wheat. Okay? Once you add oatmeal, there will be no need to add wheat. Okay? If you add wheat, there will be no need to add oatmeal. So now I'm going to dish it out. So these are Tombrown, guys. This is a Tombrown. You can see the consistency. That of yesterday was so thick. Guys, this is just like two and a half tablespoon of Tombrown. Like 2.5 tablespoon. I have 3 spoons here. This is what is remaining. Look at this. I have 3 spoons and this is what is left. So this is a Tombrown, guys. Our Tombrown is ready. So this is it. So now, in case you want it sweeter, because I added some dates, debino. But in case you want it sweeter, you can add more sugar or honey. You can add sugar, you can add honey. Yeah, I have organic honey. I just want to garnish it with little honey, like very little. Yeah, just little. Because the taste is okay already. Just that I just want to enhance it a little bit. So guys, these are Tombrown. Remember, like I said, you can either make it thick or you make it light, depending on the amount of water used in making it. Again, another thing I also observe is this is not my first time of making Tombrown. I used to make Tombrown for my family. The thickness of Tombrown, this Tombrown is very, very rich. You can see the thickness, just little quantity, and my Tombrown is very thick. Okay, there are some Tombrown you bring because of the ingredients used in that Tombrown to be so light and so watery, to not be thick at all. We add and add, we make up to 5 spoons, 6 spoons, the thing will still be very light. It's because of the amount of the ingredient or the particular ingredients combined in that Tombrown. Get it? So the ingredient also promotes the thickness. The ingredients used also promote the thickness of your Tombrown. Okay, guys. Look at Tombrown, guys. Very delicious. Like, it's super yummy. Thank you so much. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel, be a member of this family to always get fantastic recipes undiluted, detailed videos. Thank you so much for stopping by. Remember, I'm see your girl Obi Franka Ochi. And also visit my Facebook page at Oduchi. Thank you so much.